my name is Karen and I work at the York County Library in South Carolina. And welcome to today's program. Today's program is a book tasting about undercover agents, spies, and private eyes. So my friends, if you're a tween about ages 10 to 12 and looking for some spy books to read, you have come to the right place. That is our topic for today. So how this will work, you'll want to grab a sheet of paper and a pencil or pen and be ready to jot down some notes. My goal for today, I'm hoping you will find a new book to read, something of interest to you. So we'll be ready to take down like the title and author is what we're looking at. Okay, and our menu, we have our menu over here. We have action and adventure stories, historical fiction spy stories, and some nonfiction spy stories. So we'll take a look at our table here, our setup. First, this box contains our nonfiction, a selection of our nonfiction. And so take a look at some of these titles, guys. We have Code Girls, the true story of the American women who secretly broke codes in World War II. We've got several about World War II today, actually. And we have Hazardous Tales, the story of Nathan Hale, who was a spy. And that one is actually a graphic novel, if you like graphic novels. And we have Lincoln's Spy Master. His name was Alan Pinkerton, and he was America's first private eye. And here we have Spy, Spy Again, True Tales of Failed Espionage, if you want some stories about how things didn't work out so well. And we have Spies, Lies, and Disguise, the daring tricks and deeds that won World War II. So some nonfiction works to consider there. And here we have a few of our historical fiction ones. World War II Spies. This one is actually a choose your own adventure kind of style. So you'll reach points in the story where you get to make a decision, what do we do next, and go from there. And here we have Project 1065, a novel of World War II. So another World War II. And this historical fiction one takes place during the Cold War in 1953. So a different time period there. Okay, and up here on display, I put together a few of our action and adventure kind of ones. And action and adventure, most of those are actually part of a series too. So if you like reading books that are part of a series, these will help you get started. So take a note of any up there that look good to you. If you like graphic novels, the one almost on the end there, the second from the left, that one is a graphic novel if you're looking for a graphic novel. And of course in the middle, I'll mention too, we do have audiobooks available too. So that's something to think about as well if you like audiobooks. So, okay. And on our menu too, what we're gonna do next is take a look in more depth at some of these action and adventure kind of spy novels. And a more in-depth kind of book tasting. So this one is called Framed, a Toast Mystery, and it's by James Ponti. And we're gonna read from it with permission from Simon Schuster today. So this on the back it says, The Meaning of Toast, or T-O-A-S-T. It's like an acronym. You want me to teach you toast? Toast? Margaret asked. Don't you think I know how to make toast? Not that toast, I said. Toast stands for the theory of all small things. That's how I read people and places. The idea is that if you add up a bunch of little details, it reveals the larger truth. I'm looking at the cover there. That's definitely got a mystery vibe to it, this one. Let's see. It says you're halfway through your homework and the director of the FBI keeps texting you for help. What do you do? Save your grade or save the country? If you're Florian Bates, you figure out a way to do both. Florian has just moved to Washington, D.C. He's learning his way around using TOAST, which stands for the theory of all small things. It's a technique he invented to solve life's little mysteries, such as where to sit on the first day of school, or which Chinese restaurant has the best egg rolls. But when he teaches it to his new friend Margaret, they uncover a mystery that isn't little. In fact, it's huge, and it involves the National Gallery, the FBI, and a notorious mafia syndicate known as EEL. EEL. Can Florian decipher the clues and finish his homework in time to help the FBI solve the case? And before the mafia gets a hold of him? So once you've got your book and you've looked at the cover and looked at the back and the inside jacket, next you're going to want to take a look at the first few pages, maybe 2 or 3 pages, just to get a feel for it. So here we go. The Not So Safe Way. My name's Florian Bates. I'm 12 years old and a 7th grader at Alice Deal Middle School in Washington, D.C. My 2 favorite foods are pizza and egg rolls. I'm on the student council, I'm in the Scrabble club, and I plan to try out for soccer. I also work for the FBI. I know, that last one kind of comes out of the blue, doesn't it? Technically, they classify me as a covert asset, which sounds very James Bond and spy-like. But it really only means that they want to keep me a secret. After all, it would be pretty embarrassing for them to admit that they get help from a 12-year-old. And it would be even worse if one of the guys on the 10 most wanted list showed up at my house in a bad mood. So the covert part is really good for both of us. Becoming a detective wasn't something I meant to do. It just sort of happened because I noticed things other people don't. My brain's weird that way. It spots details that seem insignificant and then snaps them together like puzzle pieces. The only people outside the Bureau who are supposed to know my status are my parents and my best friend Margaret. But that changed the day the Romanian mafia kidnapped me after school. And we'll leave it at that. So what do you think? Is that something that intrigues you? Be sure to jot down the title, Framed, a Toast Mystery. And here's our author, James Ponti, P-O-N-T-I. Okay. Let's take a closer look at another one here too. This one is another action-adventure kind of story. It's Mrs. Smith's Spy School for Girls by Beth McMullen. And we're going to read from it with permission from our Simon Schuster. So the cover, she kind of has a superhero kind of look about her. I don't know, and she's losing all the books from her book bag. I don't know what that's about. And her cell phone's going off, it looks like. Well, let's see what it says here. Dear Abigail Hunter, it is with great pleasure that we welcome you to the Smith School for Children's class of 2019. We are confident you will contribute many amazing things to our school and community. Here at Smith, we take our motto very seriously. Non tamen ad redet. Not to take, but to give back. We strive each day to make the world a better place for our fellow human beings, because this is what matters most. Sincerely, Lola Smith, Headmaster, the Smith School for Children. So that's like an acceptance letter into her school there. Let's see what it says on the inside. After another botched attempt from boarding school, Abigail is stunned to discover that the school she loathes is actually a cover for an elite spy ring called the Center. Not only that, her mother is at the Center's top agent, and she has been chasing a dangerous criminal called the Ghost for the past decade. And now her mother has gone MIA, along with a frenemy who isn't thrilled about helping the newbie, and a mischievous boy from her class. Abigail must go through Spy Training 101 to try to complete her first and most important mission of all, Operation Save Mom. With false starts, hilarious mishaps, and a lot of heart, Abigail begins to prove to everyone, including herself, that she belongs. But the key to finding Abigail's mother is much closer than anyone could have imagined, and Abigail must use all her new skills when the Ghost sets his sights on someone else, Abigail herself. In this action-packed middle grade debut, can Abigail find her mother and track down the Ghost? Or will this be a mission impossible? Intriguing. Okay. And the beginning starts out much like the back of the book. Dear Abigail Hunter, it is with great pleasure that we welcome you to the Smith School for Children's class of 2019. We are confident you will contribute many amazing things to our school and community. Here at Smith, we take our motto very seriously. Non temen adredet. Not to take, but to give back. We strive each day to make the world a better place for our fellow human beings, because this is what matters most. Attached, please find details regarding the start of the school year. Our travel office will be contacting you shortly to arrange transportation for you and your belongings to our beautiful Connecticut campus. We look forward to an exciting and rewarding year. Sincerely, Lola Smith, Headmaster, the Smith School for Children. The Smith School for Children? What? There has to be a mistake, because I go to Sweetbriar Montessori with Rowan and Ainsley and Blake and Alec, and we have plans. Next year, in 8th grade, there's this epic 3-day field trip to Washington, D.C. And Blake and I trade lunch every day because he likes the kale chips and other inedible green things that my mom packs for me. Speaking of my mother, Mom, get in here right now, I yell. My mother, the smart yet apparently forgetful Jennifer Hunter, appears in my bedroom doorway. She has a towel wrapped around her hair and one covering her torso. Her mouth is full of toothpaste. What? She mumbles through the phone. Are you on fire? I hold up the letter high so she is sure to get a good look at the Smith School crest and coat of arms, bright red and blue. Also, why does a school for kids have a coat of arms? Mom squints. She's vain, so she avoids wearing reading glasses, unless the situation calls for splinter removal. I clear my throat. Does the Smith School for Children ring a bell? I shout. Mom freezes, a look of shock clouding her face. Toothpaste rolls down her chin. My stomach sinks. This letter is no mistake. So she's being sent off to school. So if this book is of interest, be sure to jot it down. By Beth McMullen. This is Smith's Spy School for Girls. Okay. And the last one we'll take a look at, another action-adventure series. These are all series. And it's called Spy School by Stuart Gibbs. And we're reading it with permission from our Simon Schuster. Okay, and there's actually nothing written on the back. Same back and front. Pretty cool looking image there. Okay. So inside the jacket it says, Agent Ben Ripley, age 12. Mission, survive the science school that is really a front for training junior CIA operatives. And try to get the girl. Objectives, 1. Find the devious double agent who has infiltrated the school. 2. Try not to die. 3. Prove to everyone that you are capable of being a spy. Save the day, and try not to look like such a nerd while doing it. Destroy this note once you have it memorized. Okay, let's take a look at the first few pages here. Recruitment. Hello, Ben, said the man in my living room. My name is Alexander Hale. I work for the CIA. And just like that, my life became interesting. It hadn't been up until then, not by a long shot. That day had been a prime example. Day 4,583, 7 months into the 12th year of my mundane existence. I had dragged myself out of bed, eaten breakfast, gone to middle school, been bored in class, stared at girls I was too embarrassed to approach, had lunch, slogged through the gym, fallen asleep in math, been harassed by Dirk the Jerk, taken the bus home, and found a man in a tuxedo sitting on the couch. I didn't doubt he was a spy for a second. Alexander Hale looked exactly like I'd always imagined a spy would. A tiny bit older, perhaps. He seemed about 50, but still suave and debonair. He had a small scar on his chin, from a bullet, I guessed, or maybe something more exotic, like a crossbow. There was something very James Bond about him. I could imagine he'd been in a car chase on the way over and had taken out the bad guys without even breaking a sweat. My parents weren't home. They never were when I got back home from school. Alexander had obviously let himself in. The photo album from our family vacation to Virginia Beach sat open on the coffee table before him. Am I in trouble? I asked. Alexander laughed. For what? You've never done anything wrong in your life. Unless you count the time you spiked Dirk Dennett's Pepsi with X-Lax. And frankly, that kid was asking for it. My eyes widened in surprise. How did you know that? I'm a spy. It's my job to know things. You know, the agency has had its eye on you for some time, he said. I paused, surprised. Why? Well, for starters, you asked us to. I did? When? About how many times have you accessed our website? I grimaced, feeling foolish again. 728. Alexander looked the tiniest bit intrigued. That's exactly right. Usually you merely play the games on the kids' page, at which you performed very well, by the way. But you've also browsed the employment and internship pages with some regularity. Ergo, you've considered a career as a spy, and when you express an interest in the CIA becomes interested in you. Alexander pulled a thick envelope from inside his tuxedo and set it down on the kitchen counter. We've been impressed. Now we'll leave it at that. If you're interested in this one, it's Stuart Gibbs, Gibbs. His first book in this series is called Spy School. Okay, my friends. Well, I hope this gives you some ideas and helps you get started. Once you have books in mind, titles that you'd like to look up, head over to our website. It's yclibrary.org, as in York County, so yclibrary.org. And from there, you're going to click on Browse, and depending on if you want a hard copy, a physical copy, if you do want a physical copy, you're going to head to the library catalog under Browse. If you're looking for an ebook or an e-audiobook, you are going to go to Browse, and then you're going to go to Digital Library and check out either Overdrive or Hoopla. So I hope that helps you get started. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll say bye for now. See you later.